What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Chili Trills, and welcome to A-Side Boxing Talk. Today's episode of A-Side Boxing Talk, man, we're gonna talk about we're not gonna do a fight prediction, we're not gonna do a breakdown, we're not gonna talk about what's coming next. We're gonna do a little real talk here today, and we're gonna talk about the dilemma. Well, one of the many dilemmas that I see in the sport of boxing today. I don't hear many people talking about it. You hear some here and there, but in my personal opinion, man, one of the many dilemmas in boxing is the sweepstakes effect. And so you might say, well, Trilly Trills, what's the sweepstakes effect, right? So the sweepstakes effect is when a particular fighter either gets a belt or gets hot and all of the other fighters automatically want to fight that one fighter. Now, don't get me wrong. In the sport of boxing, the goal is to gather belts to win championships, of course. But there are many ways to go about gathering these belts and winning these championships, right? You can fight everybody that there is to fight, and the fans and the promoters will demand to see you win these fights. You can go on a win streak or have some good fights under your belt, and then you keep calling particular names, which makes you look thirsty, but that's another route. But at the end of the day, I think that some of the fighters need to just get back to what it is that brought them to the sport of boxing. I mean, I don't think Billy Joe Saunders at the age of freaking 15 years old was, or however old he was when he started boxing, heard about a young child named Canelo Alvarez and then knew that one day he would grow up to face him in a championship match at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. But I think that a young Billy Joe Saunders fell in love with the sport of boxing, found his way in England, became a champion, did call out Canelo a couple times, but waited until his number was called, and then had a great matchup. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and this is going back to Floyd, and everybody was calling out Floyd, Manny, everybody was calling out Manny Pacquiao, and then even more recently, everybody calling out Earl Spence and everybody calling out Canelo Alvarez, man. I mean, at this point, man, guys got to understand that the way boxing is structured, with all of the politics, with the ESPN, with the Top Rank, and the PBC, and Fox, and Showtime, and DAZN, and all of these other networks, and what people have to understand is that you have to get hot, and fans and the promoters will see that it's lucrative enough to book you for a fight, man. But don't chase these guys, man. You can't chase these guys at all, man. People are asking for one fight, you know what I mean? And when you could just fight everybody out there, fight the field. You know what I'm saying? Keep fighting. Just like a young, hungry Earl Spence did. Earl Spence, he called out all the top guys, right? But guess when he called out the top guys? After beating the Chris Van Heerden. You know what I'm saying? After stopping the Chris Algieri. After beating up Bundridge. I mean, just doing his thing. He did his thing, and he let the fans and he let the promoters make him undeniable. Even Kell Brook. Kell Brook was supposed to fight Earl Spence early. He went, got knocked out by Triple G, then had to come back and was forced to defend his IBF title against Earl Spence. That put Earl Spence in the door. Now guess what? He's the king at 147. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, like I said, man, who am I to tell these fighters what to do? But from a fan's perspective, to somebody that wants to see the greatest fights, when you got guys like Keith Thurman that wouldn't give Errol Spence the time of the day, then took a loss to Pacquiao, and now all of a sudden, you got to come see me, boy. Earl Spence, you got to come see me. Man, nobody want to hear that, Keith Thurman. Fight another fight, man. You ain't fought since 2020, 2019, early on. We want to see Keith Thurman. I mean, Keith Thurman's not my favorite fighter, but I want to see him fight. I want to see him box. I want to see the best against the best. But in order for Keith Thurman to get at Errol Spence in the ring, he has to beat everybody, right? You're not the big fish anymore. Earl is the big fish. You're not the unified guy anymore. Earl is the unified guy. Don't call him out. Make it to where he has to come see you. Make it to where every single interview, the interviewers, the fans, the promoters, fucking the boxing world is saying, hey, Earl, are you going to fight Keith Thurman? Make it undeniable. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm sorry for getting a little passionate, but at the end of the day, man, I love this sport of boxing, man. And it just seems like more fighters should chase the glory instead of chasing other fighters that are chasing glory. You know what I'm saying? You look crazy. But, you know, as it is, you know, people will continue to do what they'll do. You know, people have teams, people have promoters, people have corners. I don't think that these guys are just going into the media and just saying things that are on the top of your head. I believe that there's people coaching these guys to say these type of things, man. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, man, that sweepstakes effect, just let it go, man. Just fight everybody, right? Fight everybody. You don't hear guys like Jerron. I mean, granted, Jerron Ennis, Boots Ennis is calling out top guys, but he's calling out top guys after he's handling business. Yeah, he's gonna call out the top guy, but I bet you one thing. I bet you we'll see Boots Ennis in the next 6 months again. Canelo showing the blueprint, man. Just keep fighting. I'd rather see Keith Thurman fight 4 times a year, 2 C-class fighters, maybe a B-class fighter and an A-level fighter, or 3 C-class fighters and a B-class fighters, than for him to be on freaking Instagram or Twitter begging for an Earl Spence fight. And it's not a knock at Keith Thurman, man. Great fighter, you know. Love seeing him in action. But I'm just using that for example, man. A lot of guys are just calling guys out, and they don't want to fight, man. Right now, you got the pick-me sweepstakes with Canelo. Guys are literally just freaking waiting in the cut to be picked by Canelo Alvarez. What happened to the reason that you started boxing? What happened to your glory? What happened to the drive and the ambition? All of a sudden, you win 25 to 30 fights, and now you only want to fight one guy? Nah, man, keep it going. You want payday? Well, fucking keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, like I said, man, like, comment, subscribe, drop a note, let me know what you think about the channel. It's Trilly Trills, A-Side Boxing Talk. We out.